So this topic is what I consider a hot topic, because this topic is something that is real. So the topic, as you can see by the description of this video, is what do you do if they're best friends? So here we go. What do you do as an incoming wife if the husband and his wife are best friends? How do you maneuver in a situation where they are best friends? Well, I'm going to tell you how after I tell you some real life stuff here. So if you come into a family where the husband and wife dynamic, hey Stan, if you come into a family where the husband and wife's dynamic is already, I don't want to say tight, because that's not what it is. What I'm trying to say is they're best friends. Like, they lean on each other pretty much exclusively. They lean on each other pretty much exclusively for comfort and companionship and whatever else, you know, they talk about. Well, that is a tight spot to be in, because as a wife coming in, you see that there's this bond. I hope it's not too loud, so I'll try to speak loud. You see that there's this bond, you know, where they are best friends, and here you come and you're trying to figure out like how do I fit? You know, what am I supposed to do here? Wow, you know, they finish each other's sentences. They, you know, they've been together so long where they know each other inside and out. They can read each other's expressions. And as a woman coming in, that's a hard place to be, because in monogamy, hopefully that would be just something between you and him. But in polygyny, coming into a pre-existing relationship, that's already been established and developed. You know, so it's like you're sitting there, say for instance, you're sitting there watching a movie in the living room, and you know, something happens in the movie and they both crack up at it, and you're sitting there like, you know, I don't get it. Well, you know, they have watched the movie, they have built this culture within themselves to where, you know, they've been together forever. So something that was just shown on the screen reminds them that we've already talked about, discussed, or seen. So you're sitting there and it's like, wow, like, you know, like, dang, I can't read these comments. Somebody retracted the comment, whatever. You know, dang, like, wow. Or something else that happens when you're coming in. You're coming into a relationship that's already moving, so you will be taking down memory lane a lot. You will find yourself in the memories a lot. And for some people, even for myself initially, it was kind of uncomfortable, because, you know, you're there trying to, you know, solidify. Thought I was gonna hit that. Solidify and cement yourself in your own little memories, you know. But you have to understand, those memories, that memory lane situation, is going to help you understand what's going on, how he thinks, how she thinks, how they respond to certain situations to avoid in your own marriage. And you know, so it's almost like you kind of need to go down memory lane, because going down memory lane kind of helps you, it kind of like catapults you, kind of like takes you from step 1 to step 50 out of 100, because you don't have to do the guessing work. You know, all the guessing work is pretty much already laid out for you going down memory lane. So as a wife coming in, I know it might be hard at times, but it will benefit you to just sit there, sit in the pocket, and observe and listen, you know, see what they're talking about. Understand, like I said, how he responded in that situation, how she responded in that situation. There are certain things that you won't know about your husband. It is what it is. There are certain things your husband might not know about you, but your friends know it about you. It is what it is. So your best bet is to sit back, listen, and go down memory lane. You know it's hard. I hate this dang on freeway. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but trust me, if you're in a righteous situation, it'll get better. Trust me, I get it. I've been there. So I wanted to make this video and not have the energy I have this morning to make this video. When they're best friends, your job as an incoming wife, if you see that he is best friends with his, I'm not speeding. Sorry. Maybe I am. Alright. Your best bet is to try to be his friend. Get your relationship to the level where you're his best friend too. He's your best friend too. There are certain things that you will share with your husband that you won't share with your co. It's really important to try to have that relationship with your husband. And I know a lot of sisters are going to hate me when I say this, but your husband should be your best friend. Your co should be your other best friend. But it should not be your best friends with your co and you're not best friends with your husband. That don't make sense. As a wife coming in, your best bet is to try to be his friend. If that brother likes watching, I don't know, BoJack Horseman, so that when he's having these conversations about BoJack Horseman, you too can be in the conversation. Don't do what I did, which is be introduced to something that the brother likes watching, like, I don't know, Adult Swim. I never knew Adult Swim existed, okay? I didn't know about Robot Chicken and I don't know, the other things and all that. I didn't know that stuff was there, you know? I didn't watch these shows. So when I was introduced to these shows years ago, I'm like, what is that? Like, what the heck? What? Nah, this stuff is stupid. This doesn't make any sense. Because you know what happens? You find yourself outside of the conversations. So, as a wife coming in, it would have benefited me more to find an interest in what he liked, as opposed to maintaining my individuality and saying, nah, that's not my thing. I don't watch that stuff. You know, whatever. Your best bet is to try to find out what he likes and like it too. Even if you don't like it, you better fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. If the brother likes fishing, seems to me like you need to watch you some YouTube videos and ask the brother to take you fishing, teach you how to fish. You know, if the brother likes hunting, hey, you better get you an orange shirt, sister. You better get you some boots and get on out there in the cold and sit quietly while the brother hunts. Because you'll find yourself sitting over there while him and his other wife are enjoying the things that he likes and that she, because her husband, she's been with him, and so she likes what he likes. That's something that happens in marriage. Who knew, right? Nobody tells us this stuff. No one tells us that we should like what our husbands like. Who says this? No one said that. That's not in the book. Well, it's not in the book because chances are our parents weren't like that. Chances are we had one parent, or we had no parents and had grandparents. Whatever the case. I don't know what happened to my phone, but I'm still here if you're there. And I'm quite lost because my GPS isn't working properly. But come back, I'm here. So, if you find yourself in a situation where they're best friends, your best bet is to be his best friend too. If you find yourself in a situation where he likes certain things that you've never been exposed to, your best bet is to like those things too. Sorry, that's how it is. Typically, when you marry a man, you marry into him, his culture, his likes, his everything. So you kind of tend to give up pieces of, I know it's going to sound hard, pieces of yourself. You know, it's something that's going to happen. Don't look at it as a death sentence. Just look at it as, like, you know, opening up your eyes and broadening your horizons. I don't want you to get into these marriages that are polygynous and you see a best friend type of situation that pre-exists you and you feel some type of way. That just shows you that there's a happy marriage there and you want your marriage to get there. So just get there. Like I said, I know it's hard and I know it might seem hard, and I'm just trying to tell you what no one told me. No one told me any of this stuff, and so therefore I'm here to give it to you. I want you to have healthy and happy marriages. I don't want your marriages to fall apart because you find yourself being jealous or insecure. Oh, so you're just gonna go ahead then. I don't want those things to happen to you because those things are real and that stuff is for real, man. It can really happen. It has happened to me. So I'm telling you, so that if you see it, you understand and notice what it is so that you can correct it. These people have been together for a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and they have relied on each other that entire time. So I don't want you to go in there with expectations of you coming in and now you the one he going to, you the one he cleaves to. That's just not how that happens. You just need to find your pocket. You just need to find yourself in there and make it happen. I'm trying to tell you. Don't do the opposite of what I'm telling you. Don't do the opposite. Don't do the opposite of what I'm telling you to do. Some of us have already lived through it, and so we can tell you what it is. Another thing is, if you are the pre-existing couple, like it's a pre-existing condition for health insurance, if you are the pre-existing couple, be aware and be mindful that on the outside looking in, it seems as though the sister might be an outsider. She might see herself as an outsider. So I need you guys to recognize that and understand that. You know, don't ding the sisters because they acting insecure or they acting some type of way. You need to investigate and figure out why. Because I bet if you have these conversations, you'll see that the why is something that's easily fixed. You know, if your husband, there was a situation where the husband went to the other wife's house on her day off, and he spent the entire time at his other wife's house, who took the day off to be with her husband, on the phone with his first wife the entire day. And when she got to, and then when the first wife got off the phone and got to the house, he went into the kitchen And he spent the rest of the night talking to the first wife while the second wife was in the room just waiting for him to come in. Now, a lot of people say, well, why she just didn't go into the kitchen and talk too? Sounds good. But we are human beings. We have emotions. And the sister felt put out. I understand why she would feel put out. So we as adults, we've just got to be mindful of what we do. Just be mindful. Another situation, a sister was driving cross country by herself, and not once did the brother call and check on her. But when his first wife drove 2 hours to her cousin's house, he constantly checked on her and basically stayed on the phone with her. So it's like, you've got to be considerate. You've got to be considerate of people. You have to be considerate of people because people have emotions and people have feelings. So if you find yourself leaning more towards one wife, you have the power to have a conversation with your second wife or your additional wife and say, hey, I don't even know how to correct that. I can't even begin to lie and I know how to fix that, because I myself would have an issue with it. But I also would have a conversation with my husband and tell him, like, hey dude, like, y'all been on the phone for the last 12 hours. Can I get 10 minutes, please? It makes sense, right? So sometimes a lot of confusion can just be avoided by having conversations. Sometimes the brother's not just, sometimes the sister's not just, sometimes the additional wife is not just. She feels like because she's the new wife, she's supposed to have all the time. She's supposed to have all the time because the first wife had all the time. And that's just not the case. This is polygyny. He needs to be a husband to both of y'all. And both of y'all need to be be wives to him. Hopefully y'all not being husbands, because then that's a boss wife. That's that alpha wife stuff where she's like running the house. We'll talk about that later. So, best friend situations with some husbands, you can't speak on anything they do. Well, sis, if you're talking about they as in the husband, then hopefully we knew that before we married him. And if we're talking about you can't talk to the husband about what the other wife does, that brother not being just, and I don't know, because my husband is just. If there's a problem and we bring it to him, he's going to apply his logic and reason and look for the right and the wrong and be fair about it. So hopefully he does that. Hopefully if you bring something to him, he'll listen. But if he's the type of man that if you bring something to him, he's not going to listen, then that should have been understood before you married him. People can't change. I don't know, send him a 4-page letter. I used to do that back in the day. I'd send a 4, 8, 12-page letter. Highlighting, colored pencil, all kinds of stuff. But airing my grievances. So sometimes if you're dealing with a man that's not just and that's not right, then there's not much you can do other than make sure you're right. And if you stay in that marriage, you might have to have some conversations with the sister to get it right, man, I am far, yo. I'm still driving. Y'all don't even understand my pain right now. I'm about to get on another freeway. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Do y'all believe wives are supposed to be virgins before marriage? Do I believe that? I can't speak for you all. I can speak for myself. I think a wife can be a wife, or I think a woman can enter into marriage if she's a virgin and if she's not. I don't think virginity automatically says you're a wife. Like, I know some strange things about virgins. So, so therefore, you know, I'm not gonna say that because, you go for a woman because she's a virgin and you marry her and, you know, whatever. I don't think her hymen makes her intact hymen makes her more of wife material than someone that's already had sex. I don't know how else to say that. People change on you. Yeah, they do. Change back. I change back. I change as many times as I color my hair. I change. Don't listen to me. I'm, you know, don't listen to me all the time. Right now, yeah, listen to me. Oh, just make it. But yeah, I changed too. Let's see. I see that right there. I'm gonna pull over. I'm almost where I'm supposed to be. I think. Yes, 1 mile. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm going through this morning. I thank y'all for taking this ride with me, because you're helping me while I help y'all. Keep me focused, because some real stuff is going on right now here. And I need to hurry up and get to where I'm going right now. So, let's see. My husband just denies all the problems that I bring up, and his actions and his words are not consistent as it pertains to him leaning more towards the second wife. So now my question is, how does she feel about that? Some women relish in the fact that he's leaning more towards me than you. Some women relish in the fact that he's fighting with you, and so now he's finna come over here to me and give me all the love and attention. Some women like that. Some women like thrive off of that. So your question should be to her, like, if she is aware of this and she knows that this is happening, your question should be, how does that make you feel? Because like I say, some women like it. Some women like it when he fighting you, because now he all on my phone. He blowing me up. You know? Some women like it because he talking bad about you to her. Some people feel power in that. So you've got to really, really realize and kind of figure out what situation. If he is leaning more towards the other, especially if you're Muslim, you already know how that's gonna happen for him. When he get over there on the Day of Judgment, he gonna be stroke action. He gonna be limp on one side. He should know better than that. He should know better than that. And that's just crazy. Both women I'm with had a number of relationships before me. Oh, that's good. Both had kids. You're such a great person. Yeah, both had kids. Hey, it is what it is. This is America. This is America. Let's see. In ancient Israel, a woman had to be a virgin to be considered a wife or a wife. Well, I don't know, because I'm not in ancient Israel. I don't know how that works. I am in present day Texas, so I don't know how that works, but I know how the selection of wives works in Islam. And so I don't know. Hopefully my code can answer that for you, because I don't know. Like I said, I'm in the United States of America, and you know, gosh, I still got to go far. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, because you know, Prophet Muhammad, he was marrying women that was divorcees. He was marrying widows. He was marrying non-Muslims. He was marrying Jews and Coptic Christians and everything else. So, I mean, my school of thought, my train of thought is slightly different when it comes to that. I think marriage is for any woman that is ready for marriage, whether she's a virgin or not. But again, you know, different schools of thought. So, I'm sorry. You've never met her. Only for a high priest did a woman have to be a virgin, not for the common man. There you go. Thank you, Zay. Because I don't know. Yes, everyone look at the comments because I don't know. I can't play to know. I can't pretend to know. I don't know. What? And if she becomes a widow, his brother to take her used hymen as marriage. I don't know. Woo, y'all getting too deep for me. I don't know. Y'all can ask me about Mecca. Y'all can ask me about the Black Stone and my feelings on that. Y'all can ask me about the wives of the prophets and the wives of the companions, and I got your back. But I don't know much about ancient Israel or much. I don't know. I just know, and I might get some flack for this, but I just know, sounds to me like the Torah and the Quran is like best friends. That's all I know. That's all I know. Chances are, if you find it in the Torah, chances are it'll be in the Quran. Chances are, if you find it in the Quran, it's gonna be in the Torah. That I know. I don't know anything else, and I don't profess to know anything else. You know, if y'all had caught me 5 years ago, I'd have told y'all I'm an Islamic scholar. I got more Islam in my pinky now. You know, but I'm not as cocky as I used to be. So I don't know. I can't answer those questions because I don't know. But Mako and my husband can. They got your back. So as far as him leaning to the other woman, if you never even met her, so there's this thing in Islam where am I about to turn? There's this concept in Islam where you can marry a woman without the permission of your wife, your existing wife. You can marry a woman without there's the Google streetcar. You can marry a woman without your wife's permission and without her knowledge. But that is not advised because we all know what happens when that happens. Feelings get hurt, trust is lost, and everything else. So I advise people that are in situations like that, if that brother, if he listens to the hadith, because that's where that is coming from, that is hadith. That is not in the Quran. Nowhere in the Quran does it say you can go marry a woman and you ain't supposed to tell your wife. That's not there. But if this man follows hadith, then he should absolutely go talk to an imam. You should go talk to one too, because that's hard. That's a hard thing to deal with. You know, that kind of talks about the divorce rate in Islamic communities, because that's hard and that makes me sad. But I know it exists. I know it exists. Brother comes home, you know, and the wife is like, "Where have you been for 3 days?" He's like, "Oh, I've been spending my 3 days with my new wife." New wife? What do you mean, new wife? And it's like, "Yeah, you know, I got a new wife." And then they cite the hadith, and it basically gives them a pass. So, you know, that's kind of hard. It's kind of hard. And it's like, you can't even say that you've had this agreement or this arrangement, or it's in your contract. Like at your nikah, it's in your contract that he doesn't practice polygamy, but you can't take his right from him. So it's like, even to write that in there is not something that's supposed to happen. But you marry him, he say, "You the only one, I'm not gonna marry someone else." I tell any woman, if you marry a man and he says he only wants you and you're the only one, and that's that, understand that he has the right to change his mind. Y'all say, "Hey, before we got married, he never said nothing about polygamy." Well, he probably didn't know that he could do it or had the ability. But I will also say, and I might get some heat for this too, if he changed his mind and you can't handle it, you change your damn mind too. And I'll say that. Now, I'm at my appointment, so I have to go. Quran is part of Torah Israel took out. You know this? Yes, I know. I know. Hi. Sex is marriage, correct? Not about the arranged churches. Well, see, people say sex is marriage, and I will say this: if people believe that sex was marriage, there would be very little premarital sex. If it was understood that if I sleep with this person, I'm going to be married to this person, I'm sure people would think twice about who they sleep with. But I also understand that marriage is more than just sex, because men sleep with prostitutes. So that means he married to all them prostitutes too. There has to be some type of commitment, some type of agreement, some type of arrangement. But I don't know, I don't know much. I don't profess to know much. Once a man takes a woman's virginity, he's married to that woman, meaning they're a husband and wife. Okay, put that on a shirt and go tell the people. Because people are wrong. People doing all sorts of wrong stuff. And I think it's a problem because before he would say she wants to meet you, and he also said several times he thought we would get along, and yesterday he said y'all might not get along. Well, why does he say that? See, here's another thing. Sometimes these brothers be playing, they play women against each other. Sometimes men play women against each other so that with the infighting, they don't ever talk and understand he tripping and it's him and he's the one that don't want y'all to get along. You know what I mean? You need to email me. I got some other stuff I want to say to you, but I can't say it on this platform because, that's just not appropriate. You go and inbox me. He follows and knows and makes it. Yeah. I get it, man. Now, woo! Yes, I have to go. I'm gonna check your email while I'm in here at this appointment. But yeah, this is, and I have totally become sad. I don't like it when people use religion and try to find religious excuses to cause harm and oppression and depression and stuff. A lot of people say, Islam oppresses women. No, I just say men depress women at times. I don't think any religion is per se oppressive, but I think sometimes you can marry the wrong people and it becomes depressive. I'll be back. My